to those companies employing environmental sustainability programs. Actually, you can apply for that, and you can have tax rebates under initiatives, especially for the environment.
The only complaint of the foreign investor is they're not getting enough incentives in the areas they want to go in. Like, we have liberalized telecommunications. We have liberalized manufacturing. Some sectors of manufacturing, like motor car manufacturing. But we have not liberalized food manufacturing yet. So that is needed. Then there is a need for some changes in the economic provisions of the Constitution. Because the Constitution really needs that kind of change.
Or what you're trying to say is, as an association, tayong dalawa, both SMAP and PISM, bits and pieces of concern for the environment, like yung when accrediting suppliers, no? We can just probably ask, no? Na, are you LEED certified? Or what's your, what are your programs, your concern from for the environment every time that we accredit suppliers or we renew contracts? Because the way we are hearing things is, no wonder people from, we were supposed to have people from government here, no? We invited speakers from the government. Kaya pala sila nag-decline. Lahat sila nag-decline, no? Uupo sila dito together with the panel. If we wait for government to act, I don't think, sabi nga ni Mr. Hill, not in the near now or the near future, malayo pa. Okay? Malayo pa. Any other questions from the floor? Wala ka. After this, okay.
There is what we call, also in association with essentially eco-labeled products, and known as that the government issued an executive order for all government agencies to buy only eco-labeled products. It does not taken off very high because, again, perhaps in conflict with compliance of procurement law. You know, this is a very good initiative, and even the government has endorsed it with an executive order. Pero ang feedback, hindi lahat ng government agencies are doing that.
Yeah.
Again, it conflicts sa government procurement law and compliance.
So tayo mismo talaga dapat i-drive natin yun. Yeah, sorry. Last question from the floor, please.
Afternoon, everyone. Henry Patadones from SSI Schaefer. So we were talking about the fact that the government is hesitant in adopting all of these big measures. So I thought maybe it is really time that tayo in the private sector would start adopting. However, you mentioned earlier, the problem is the cost. So I was thinking, this is a random question. How long do you think will it take for the cost of such measures to go down to a level that's acceptable for both the private sector and the government, that for them to finally through their support to such measures na para hindi magtutuli, para ma-accelerate na yung progress natin towards more sustainable work.
Could you repeat your question?
My microphone was dead, no? How long will it take? How 5 years, 10 years? How long will it take for the cost of green measures to go down to an acceptable level para maging acceptable siya to
business
and to government so that we can show to support before it's too late? Gano'ng katagal kaya?
Sa tingin ko, maybe 15 years. Maybe 15 years. Bakit? You have to change the mentality of both government and private sector. And the end user itself. Because if the pressure comes from the end user, from the consumer, there's going to be a demand. Then the political end will respond. Then private sector can now dance in glee, in celebration. But let's say there is no response from the government side. Then that's a time when the consumer and the supplier or the manufacturer must now get their acts together so that the government regulatory powers can be galvanized into action. In short, what I'm saying, in short, what I'm saying is there's no hard and fast rule for that. And like I said in my chat with you, we must monitor every bit of development every day. Please do not let every single strategic information escape your attention, because it might be the key that you're looking for,
But what you're saying, it should come really from tawagin yun nasa naturalesa ng tao.
Correct.
In order para dumami yung nasa business, and then prices will go down eventually.
That's why I keep saying, do not let your critical thinking relax all the time. Never let your guard down.
So it should come from us.
Siguro also on my personal opinion na most efficient way is really, gusto to Perry, make a lot of noise. Make big noise talaga, tapos parang kung ang Pilipino, anong uso, sinusundan. Diba? Kung ano yung maraming gumagawa, sumusunod. Technology, iPad, iPhone, kung ano latest, sumusunod, diba? Kahit hindi naman kailangan. Pero this time, ito kailangan ko eh. So, I think the key thing is paano pauusuin ito. And I think, likewise, kung umuso na yan, maraming ng demand, yung price will also come.
There is you can invoke the freedom of information and the freedom of speech and the press. You write your opinion to the editor. This is what they've not done. We should do this because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make your arguments be on the positive side. Don't stop.
Yeah, my point of view is that, number one, we should apply the law of demand and supply, as Ricky said. Once there's a demand, meaning there's a need. And if there's a need, there's a certain requirement. And for me, I think it starts with enacting a law with regards to purchasing. And like we have presented, Japan has this green purchasing law. And I guess to really push the private entities is for us to really have a green purchasing law. Well, it all starts with compliance. And once there's a law saying that we should be responsible in terms of buying goods, we should make it a top consideration to buy earth-friendly goods, then I think the prices would go down.
Maybe SIMAP and PISL could release some manifesto regarding that. Both our associations can do that.
Or you can connive. I'll use the word connive, Plan it out with your promotions and advertising manager, because he has the access to that. He's the one paying the newspapers, for space, or the broadcast stations for airing. Then use that, It's for the better.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Maybe we could have a few words from our speakers before we end our open program.
We also went here not just to impart our knowledge, but also we'd like to also network with you to gain something, additional knowledge. It's always good to continue learning. And
Ulitan ang labanan.
yes, ulitan. And perhaps this is an opportune time to thank PISM for inviting us. And it's really a privilege for us to also share our advocacy and the learnings that we had from our learnings in other parts of the world. And I think it's really about time that we should not be remain complacent about doing this. So, actually, our pinakalaban natin is complacency. So, if we decide to be complacent, then there's only one way to go, and it's not a good, it's not a good sign. So, please, one advocacy that we'd like you also to have that advocacy is really this green logistics, green supply chain, and green purchasing. All of this have the responsibility, not just corporately as an individual as well.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Well, for one, I think global warming is just around the corner. If we will not act now, then it will be too late. No? Not only for us, but for our children's children. I have 2 kids, and during my time, I could play around, outside the streets. I could go to the nearest river. But now I'm thinking, may maabutan pa bang mga anak ko? Sana meron pa. And we can start doing our part, kahit mga simpleng bagay lang po. Mula sa bahay natin, no? Patayin natin ang mga ilaw pag hindi ginagamit. Let's segregate. And down to our offices, no? Sa ating mga sites, no? And especially for buyers or purchaser, I'd like to share that through buying, we can do something big for the environment, no? By just considering, is this thing that I'm going to buy is something environment friendly? Should I shift to refillable ball pens or shift to refillable inks? No? Simple things like that would really help us preserve the environment. And second, I salute the multinational companies, especially our multinational customers, no? Because for one, they have this accreditation process called SEDEX. That's the Supplier Ethical Data Exchange. No? For you to be accredited as a supplier, no, you have to, at a minimum, comply to the environmental laws and regulations. And I think this is also one thing we can do with our local suppliers, no? That in accrediting them, we consider some environmental considerations. No? Yun lang siguro. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
I'll have mine in the form of questions because I want to learn more. I take this as a two-way traffic. How much of, or could you quantify the number of your membership on classifications such as 1, food, 2, construction, 3, services, 4, raw materials, for everything. Can you do that? Is that possible?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Okay, I'll communicate with you later. The reason for that is we would like to research further on the future of the supply chain, because that's what, whether we like it or not, this is going to be affecting everybody. Supplies affects everybody, and supply doesn't cover only food. No?
I'm seeing a potential collaboration.
Yes, yes, correct. Yeah, thank you.
So, you know, the Filipinos, we are a real resilient people. But resiliency and complacency simply is a very bad combination. So, with this ends our open forum. I hope you were all enlightened. Aside from being nauga ang ating mga silya. Again, this is Perry Dominguez. Maraming salamat. Magandang hapon.